play in that situation. So we'll see where they go next. It does look like Sky Temple will be our second choice. And this kind of has the same idea, right? You don't have to push into your opponent's core. You can't do that on Towers of Doom, but kind of the same thing here. You are able to win with a macro advantage.
Excuse me, okay. It was Tempest's pick of Towers of Doom, so that's even cooler that BlossoM was actually trying something new on a map they did not choose. Maybe it happened to be the same map they wanted to play. Who knows? Game 2, Sky Temple. On this one, Medieval is less likely. But with Diablo, Tyrann, they're certainly getting banned all the time. In Korea, not too high of a win rate, only 33%. Only 9 times picked, but ever since that, just spanned out the entire drafting page.
Right. It's kind of interesting. We talked about it yesterday. Sometimes teams that don't really know how to adapt to a new pick just decide to ban it until they can figure out how to deal with it later on. So I'm not sure that's totally what's going on here, but it's a hot button issue. And I'm actually kind of interested. You know, I haven't had a chance to watch too much of other regions, so I don't know exactly how they're handling Tyrande, but it has been very frequently picked
about the
unanimously.
same in the EU. A little less appearing in NA, but still very top tier. It's also because she's not as hard as the other support sometimes. She doesn't have an escape. That could be a hard one. In terms of healing and connecting the crowd control, it's somewhat easy if you have one that can actually follow up with you, like the tank Diablo is in this case.
We'll see what the tank is this time around. Still the consistent ban on Anubarak, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a Diablo ban come through as a way to kind of adjust from game number 1. But still, it's kind of hard to fit that in when you probably need to take Tyrande off the field as well.
I think just consistent ban on Nubug, it's a snipe on Sign, as well as calling out for pick Diablo. We will just have that Marthael last right, and we'll still get you the kill. We do have the counter against it. That's what happened, not exactly how it went in game 1. So same bans, game 1 and 2, Genji Tyrande and Anubarak Maiev are moving towards the same path.
I don't know if we're going to see the same picks. I mean, the map is pretty different, but still kind of has a similar, I don't know, theme. I don't think that we'll see, maybe we will still see the Rainer focus from Tempest. It seems like they are doing a great job protecting good, and as long as that works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
If they want to go Rainer, pick it later and pick something else this time. They will go exactly the same, because last time it was Blaze. I'm guessing because Dami has Irel and Blaze as a secondary choice. Unless it's going to be grabbed by BlossoM, which I don't think in this case, because they're looking towards that Marthael. So Tempest has a pretty good read of what the solo lane is going to be.
So if they want the Malthael, then that means that they aren't really able to counterpick that Blaze away, and I think even still they just go for like Urel or something safe like that, even though it's not quite as able to protect Rainer. They still get Hong Kono his tank pick, but a Li Ming to be brought out here.
If Tempest if they're thinking about the support right after, they can bend one of White Mane or Decker, whichever they think is better against the team combo BlossoM. I don't argue whichever one, because I think both are really strong. They can just go for a support choke instead of focusing on Wiz. I think the Haka was going to be some option, but not as high on this map though.
Especially on a large one, maybe that would have been prioritized. But the Zeratul, just similar ban phase there for BlossoM the last game. So this is where things really changed, right? Last time, this is where Tempest grabbed their top lane pick and then had Malthael summarily picked right against it. I don't think they're afraid to do it again, because their synergy does seem to be working out, protecting Rainer with that bunker. But are they going to be able to do that? Straight up, just same thing again.
So BlossoM Tempest, it seems like they are not really sniping any picks or stealing away the picks that we had in game 1 from either team.
Yeah.
But just letting them go, thinking about some other options that were laying down far behind, just in case something else happens. And they just follow the similar path. Tempest grabbing 4 same picks as game 1. And BlossoM exactly the same, except for Li Ming with that Medivh as a change.
I mean, this seems like what I like to call the salty run back, right? It's like the GG go next. We just want to have a rematch we kind of messed things up a little bit, so we know what to tweak. And it looks like the change that they made this time around was that Li Ming.
Yeah, last time was Phoenix, but that was also because that was Medivh. It is exactly going to be the same. It is a very balanced draft in terms of the macro control, the camp, the wave clear, and the teamfight potential.
I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here, G-Clev. I think if these teams wanted to, they would probably agree to play on the same map 2 times in a row. And unfortunately, you can't do that in HGC Korea, but they're kind of making it look very, very similar with about the closest drafts I've seen all season.
I think he drew Dami there, as you can see from the hair.
It's like a Dami magic carp.
That's a Dami fish. Yes, he's on that blaze all day tonight. 2 out of 2.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 3 out of 3, or even if they stick with these picks.
That's a gigantic polo. I've never seen that big of a polo in a...
You have to buy it from New Jersey. It's imported.
Wow.
Either way, surprising to see, or not surprising to see, rather, just so many fans in the crowd for Tempest. Of course, a mainstay of Korean Heroes of the Storm for so long, so tons of fans out here to support them. And, you know, BlossoM not without fans of their own in the audience, but still, you would expect Tempest to maybe have a little bit of an advantage coming into this.
Yeah, this is almost the rematch. Li Ming, Medivh, they're all mages.
Yeah, I mean, one can fly, the other can teleport. Well, I guess they can both kind of teleport.
But on a different role this time, of course. Last time was Medivh. It was played by Gondar. This time, yeah, look at that. He's on the garage.
What are we regressing here? You're just saying, okay, I can still play that.
Okay, it seemed like we had a rematch, but no, BlossoM. They changed it, as we were saying before the game actually started. Honkono and Gondar, they oftentimes flex in and out.
Honkono
from
on
DPS to a tank role, because they have been playing both of them. But can they switch out this all of a sudden? Let's see how well Honkono can actually pull out those resets. It's been a while where we had Honkono on a mage.
Yeah, you're right. You know, you were talking about this being one of the big strengths of BlossoM, right? How they did make this change a while ago in their roles, but they have really come into their own. It looks really good. But now they're swapping right back. Are they really that versatile?
They might be. I think the main switch had to be Modern's Hanzo, maybe. I think Modern's Li Ming was not a bad choice, and Honkono does like to play some ranged. But we'll see how this works. As Honkono, not known as a Li Ming player at all. I don't recall him being the Li Ming player too much, but they do have the Nano Li Ming. When you have the sleep dart on the perfect target, some scatter plus orb missile, that will be a kill onto Deckard or Raynor. Before that, Adrenaline even kicks in.
Sleep dart is like a short story if you want somebody to stay a while and listen. Single target. But it still has the same function, right? You sleep somebody, blow them up with Li Ming, combo that is still there. So how is the back row looking? It certainly seems as if Malthael Wiz is getting quite a bit of frequent flyer miles. He moves around quite a bit now, shoving mid, rotating back up the top.
I mean, Gondar's an awesome tank, and he has been the tank player for this team ever since he came into HGC for a long time.
Yep.
And he plays great Stitches, great not great Gondar, great Garrosh.
He's a great Gondar too.
He's a great Gondar.
I think he plays Gondar pretty well, G-Cliff. I don't know what to talk about. Yeah.
Great Diablo ETC player. So we can't really put him down on the tank pulls at all.
Yep. Good kind of left to his own devices down there. I think Honkono's totally okay with that. He's getting damage done to Good and poking down that wall, takes out a turret or a tower and almost with the gate.
Lachlan's Phoenix was really good in game 1. Having some pre-warp, because if you're a second too late, 0.1 second late, maybe canceled on that warp.
And hey, if they need him to backdoor later, then maybe.
Oh, that's SC.
Yeah, wishful thinking. He saw that and he's like, maybe I can do that too. Is that what Phoenix does? I don't know, probably not. Modern does get locked down there with a scroll of ceiling. I was worried for a second, but a fight over. Temple does commence. We'll see how well the poke comes out from Honkono and his Li Ming, and whether Merryday can land that sleep dart to set him up. And currently, it looks like Tempest don't want to fight it.
Yeah, they buy a good amount of time because Martel rotated all the way down, and Blaze is getting free, basically a free entire tempo by himself all the way. And he can actually join. There's some differences in the top and mid tempo.
Free tower, and that is going to be the fort going down. BlossoM losing that, but will he be able to take anything back? It doesn't look like.
The Tempest will not contest. I thought because they hit 7 first, maybe they are going to, but they're just going to go back to laning and let BlossoM take the rest of the tempo because they still control a lot more in terms of experience early on.
Certainly do. It's the objective advantage still in Tempest's favor, so they know that they don't really have to contest anything and risk giving any of that advantage away. Gondar's out there fishing, looking for anyone. Can't quite find the opportunity. Trying to keep an eye on the lane assignment. It certainly seems like Wiz has had his handful rotating from mid to top, but I mean, to be honest, Blaze is doing the exact same thing, and it seems like he's a little bit further ahead, faster to join his team here, faster to the mid lane, just slightly.
Yes. Nope, lockdown, perfect time to warp. He's not against the Diablo, so it is not as hard.
Oh, Scroll catches Modern. Every time that happens, I always kind of just hold my breath because his positioning in game 1 was kind of something that we, needed to watch out for.
Scrolls are pretty tough to dodge at times. If you don't react fast enough, I think you can get caught so many times. It has a pretty good hitbox on it.
Yeah, I think he recognizes when he would be in danger and when he wouldn't. Or at least he seems to be doing that very well
Another
so
stack
far.
from Merryday. So going back to the role swap, Honkono's Leeming, Pleb Horse, a basic skin. We all know why. I think it is his first time on the Leeming this year.
It seems that way. So when you have to make the decision in your team to have that role swap come through, you're gaining something maybe by having Gondar back on a hero that he was very strong on. But when you have to, when that means that Honkono has to play Li Ming for potentially his first time, I mean, I think maybe you might be losing more than you gain.
Yep, and they hit 10, but Martel's all the way up there, so there's no way, no good reason to even go into this bush. Gondar will check. Because Blaze is still at the mid lane, so they are having the rotation. Okay, Blaze comes a little bit faster, but you do have to wait for your teammate.
Wait, what? Oh my god, okay,
Nice
well, Scatter Arrow is a good ability, G-Clef. And there's a toss in onto Sign. He's going to get chunked quite heavily. Still wants to fight, and here comes the Hyperion, trying to give them that little bit of extra damage. I don't know if that's going to be enough, though. The bunker pours out prematurely. This is one kill after another. Dami will be the second one to fall. Last Strikes taking him down. It's a 4-for-0 in BlossoM's favor.
And then when they have Alonso, they can do bot and tempo.
This is incredible.
I don't exactly know why Dami was late. I guess he was trying to time it with Martel, but Dami came really late into the team fight. And maybe they thought bunker was coming soon enough. And Lockdown actually got caught in all those arrow damage. Hanzo, when you are walking near the wall, you do have to always think about the scatter angle.
Yep.
If you're away from that, you don't take the burst damage, but when you do, get all the 4 shots, you can die in a second.
So you guys gotta pay attention in geometry class. You don't think that proofs and all those angles are meaningful. Gotta take it back to your hero league.
Ah, it's okay. I skipped geometry and size. I still play a good of an Hanzo.
I actually really like
Just play
geometry.
lots of billiards and you'll be good.
Oh yeah, that's true.
If you know how to bounce stuff.
Your trick shots. I mean, that was a pretty tricky one, right? When even Tempest doesn't expect that. I don't think anybody on the team was like, hey, watch out. That's a good angle for Hanzo. Nope. Just gets kind of popped there before the fight even starts, and it goes from bad to worse. So BlossoM, a huge breath of fresh air. They're going to hit 13 first as well, have that level advantage over Tempest.
Yeah, what a turnaround. just from a few kills from Phoenix. I thought it was going to end there. But BlossoM, quite surprising to see a Dragon Strike locked in. It's because of sometimes Bunker. When you try to escape, because Bunker takes damage and it runs out, and you will be taking that area damage. Gigantic arrow, gigantic dragon arrow.
Yeah.
I mean, Dragon Strike, what am I saying?
Oh, I was going to say, I look up there and I'm expecting...
Because Dragon Arrow is always the one
I always expect to see
yes.
Dragon Arrow, but no, it is Dragon Strike. What is with the Dragon Strikes? I feel like that's the only Hanzo heroic we've seen this week.
Somewhat for zoning as well. That's what SC said when he first took it too many times.
Okay, man. I remember I used to think that was not like trolling, but certainly not the most common pick up until now. So we are seeing that again. It's always good, if the bunker does get thrown down, you can just throw the Dragon Strike on top of it. It's like, okay, well, this thing dies really quickly. But keep an eye on that as both teams contesting the center temple. Poke damage coming in from Hanzo. Just sleep on the lockdown.
A little discoordination from Honkono, but good take some damage. Taunted Deckard. He's way too far in the front. Bunker has to be dropped.
There's the bunker. Will we see Modern use that Dragon Strike? No, he's just going to pop it, lock it, and back away.
Only one bunker. And with a trade of Nano and the taunt, so nothing too crazy.
And I mean, if you look at the cooldown, I mean, we're going to see taunt back up in just 30 seconds. So this is going to be good to go again for Gondar. He continues to really have a strong performance on his hero. Of course, a trademark. We'll see whether or not it was worth it. Nice flip back out on his side, but here comes Salvo. Lockdown, moving forward. He will pop Modern's Hanzo, and another casualty coming through his Lightning Breath. Slows Gondar down enough to get him out of there. Two big picks for Tempest.
Really good engage. That was actually forced out by Sign. When there's nothing around, there was no wall, so you don't really expect a Diablo to come in and suddenly grab you. And I think the first target was Li-Ming, but Li-Ming teleported it away, and then Hanzo just happens to be right next to him. So
yeah,
might as well just grab that Modern Life and burn him to ashes.
It's like when you're when you and your friend are like running away from a bear, right? You just have to be like the second fastest person, or like the second slowest person. As long as you're not last, as long as you're not the last one there, then you survive. Unfortunately, that does mean that Modern got left behind, and he didn't have a good time after that one. Yeah. So, whew, kind of a drastic casualty. Doesn't feel good, and it'll be something BlossoM might have to worry about.
BlossoM, they didn't like go into the bottom temple. They were just trying to harass and contest a little bit because Amartya was actually capturing the temple in the mid. So there was no good reason for them to hang around there. They could have done some other things, but they chose to do so, and that actually gives some boost to Tempest by taking a few kills. Yeah. Almost even in the XP. 16. We are moving into that late game now.
And this is always where Tempest has just really looked their strongest. Even in their games against Feliz the other day, they were always rock solid later on and able to just kind of bunker down and come out on top. So they do look much improved, but this time so do BlossoM. They're taking fights even this late in the game. Even a slight level advantage still after having that death. So we're starting to see 16s come out, and BlossoM look like they are ready to go for another fight. I mean, obviously no objective up just yet, but they do seem like they are willing to fight.
That's because of boss. If you let the boss go, both teams. I think Phoenix Rainer is pretty strong on the camps on the boss damage as well.
Yeah, lots of DPS.
Yeah, Li-Ming Hanzo, that's, you know how much damage Hanzo does alone. But they're somewhat scared about the Dragon Strike and what Li-Ming can actually do when you're clumped up together. With the nano boosted Li-Ming, single kill leads into 3, 4, 5 kills.
Yeah, the resets just come so quickly after that.
So Wiz, this time he comes around, not revealing himself yet.
He will be revealed by the vision. Take that back so that now he can actually be a little bit more secretive as he makes his rotations around the map.
So now Wiz does show himself on top. Tempest Day will try to go pressure into the other side a little bit as Sign starts the boss already. So
wow,
Wiz is starting to come down just now.
Yeah, I mean, they realized the Temple would be up in about 3 seconds, so they're going to try to force an objective to try to call Wiz all the way down here. He is on his way, but he's not here yet.
Yeah, Mary Day not doing anything, just making sure. So, Tempest, they have called Wiz to come down all the way.
I mean, he answers the call, right? I want to see whether or not this is the right rotation to make, because you can look at what Tempest are doing. They're setting this up so immaculately. You can see Phoenix way down bottom. It's totally split off from the team, not vulnerable if they do go for that initial engage.
So this one, if they lose, like an entire team fight, totally 2 keeps. The tempo shots from top and the boss doubled. And we're going to late game, 14 minutes now.
Yep. It's going to be a big swing for either
So this
team.
may just be like a game call. We'll put them really close to 20 as well when the tempo is finished. That's why they're being super patient about this mode. One bad move will cost you your entire team the game.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, maybe there's a way to come back, but you're just really going to have to need all the help.
Phoenix is not here. Tosses in Diablo. That's a sleep.
Yeah, sleep, and so Cyan's going to be a little bit sluggish as he looks to try to escape here. He gets blown apart there. Ling Ming, the resets might just come through. Good. The Dragon Strike right on top of him. What am I watching? Dragon Strike. It's so good. And even though the salvo comes through, it's not enough to actually pick up any kills.
Watch for Phoenix, though. While Phoenix is locking down. There's the orb. Does not get a reset.
Oh, we're back away, Wiz. He
Good
keeps
sleep.
getting the kills.
But there's no DPS in this case. Diablo can do some damage, but what else can he do? He picks up 2.
Wow.
So he's actually doing a great amount in this case. Never mind.
Wiz might just be able to, survive through everything. I mean, Hong Kono's there for the moral support, but ooh, Shadow Charge on in there for the kill on the Malthael. And Diablo MVP, Cyan really carried the end of that fight.
I knew Diablo does a lot of damage, but even against all the DPS, of course, they're really low. Lightning Press is picking up kills. That's a rare scene to see.
A double.
In this case. But because they lost so many for Tempest as well, they can't really do boss and the tempo. But at least they're getting the tempo. Most likely a full amount of it. And then they will try to fight again. And BlossoM will be hurried to make a fight now because Tempest, they will be near that level 20, the miracle mark.
Yeah, I actually, like we were talking about earlier, if either team won that fight really hard, it almost put them too far ahead. But because it was so close, the game still goes on. And while, yes, Tempest did kind of win there at the end with some heroic performances, the game's not over by any means. BlossoM still have some breathing.
Yes, and also, Deckard's stun, Pro 16 actually helped a little bit in that team fight. Whenever Li Ming wants to get just Calamity after, and if you have that one basic auto attack, it will stop. We'll buy him some time, or teammates some time.
It's the mini URL righteousness. Either way, it's a good way to just kind of disjoint things, be a little bit more disruptive. And speaking of being disruptive, Tempest want to call Wiz down again, just like they did last time, but he's not going to react to that. They're too fast on doing the boss, and that will go down. So a big pickup here by Tempest. What did BlossoM get on the other side? Is it just about clearing out their
They are getting some communication done here.
Okay.
They're having some discussion. Guys, this is our last moment. The last supper. That's what. I mean, there's a good one. As Wiz has to come back. He does come back. That's 20. Okay, boss pretty strong. This keep will be gone, but can they defend for core? That will be the mission.
There's 2 camps shoving up top, so Wiz did push quite a bit. So maybe that will inevitably make things turn in BlossoM's favor. But they are going to lose this keep. Will they lose any more? Gondar getting engaged on. Of course, he's super tanky, so not really at risk. Tossing Damian in there, forcing the bunker out. That's not going to be a tool that Tempest have. Are they going to make a core call right here? They certainly put down quite a bit of damage. Wiz going back to the back, getting blown up here.
Alone, yeah, there was no coordination. Everyone else was falling back. Gunna on the side, but Boss is still on the core. 4 down to 25. That's going to be game 2 going for Tempest once again. Even picking up a few more kills, but BlossoM, that does not stop the core damage.
Indeed, it does not. And all of the Tempest fans in the audience rejoice, quite a few of them, of course, because Tempest do it again. It was a really back-and-forth game, though. Lots of cool moments by BlossoM as they kind of won their way in and out, back into the fight. But in the end, I want to say that heroic Diablo performance just looked a little bit crazy. Won Tempest back that fight. let them get a tiny advantage. They snowballed into a win.
Yeah, really, BlossoM with their chances, I think at the moment where they need to show up, they actually fall back. And it's the other way when they shouldn't engage. Sometimes they engage. Similar story from game 1. I think the shot calling the micro shot calling in game has not been really as crisp today for some reason. But for Tempest, how they actually sign in that Diablo. See, look at the numbers. He didn't do a crazy amount of damage, but still, he was able to pick up 3 kills. Not alone. Look at that. He's the one with the most kills.
Well, and in truth, the team with the most kills lost here, showing that it's not about how many heroes you kill; it's about when and where you kill them. And for Science specifically, he had it exactly when his team needed it the most.
Look at the support numbers: 60.